Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Anyway, so Seahawks biggest needs in free agency and players they also need to re-sign. So, running back is Chris Carson. If you can't re-sign Carson, then I guess use the franchise tag, but if you want to use that on, I think I don't know, on a cornerback, Dunbar or Griffin, that also works, but it just all depends on what the Seahawks want here. So they've got running back here. I've got running back here as one, but also you're gonna need a new center. You're gonna need a left guard. You're gonna need a left tackle. You're gonna need a right tackle. You're not gonna need a right guard because you've got Damian Lewis, who was a rookie this season. So, I mean, you're fine at right guard. At least you have someone that you can trust. I mean, the Packers center Corey Lindsey will be a free agent this year, so if the Seahawks want to pick him up as center, I wouldn't mind. But, yeah, that's just me. But, yeah. So you've got running back, center, left guard, left tackle, right tackle, and then right guard you don't really need. But now what are your next biggest needs? Well, you're going to need a defensive end, pass rusher, but you're also going to need some cornerbacks here. So maybe the Seahawks are like, hey, look, let's see, what do we have here, right? Alright. I'm just going to throw out a wild trade here, okay? Seahawks trade for a first round pick this year sometime, right? They trade a second and maybe like a fourth plus Trey Flowers. And now Trey Flowers isn't very good, but you get him off your roster, and yeah, maybe the Seahawks want to do that. But like, maybe the Seahawks are like, hey, no, well, we don't want him. So what are we gonna do? I don't know. Well, you could trade him and then from the practice squad upgrade a player to the active roster at cornerback as like the fourth string. But then, okay, but now you're like, what do the Seahawks do with all of this, right? And to be honest, they also need to re-sign KJ, right? If they really want to. But they don't need to because they can just use Jordan Brooks, who was honestly better than I thought in coverage this year. But yeah, you got him. Now, what do you do? Well, so let's just put linebacker for here. Right? Well, you now have solved this problem. So you don't need to worry about that position at all. Because you have Bobby Wagner, then who else do you have? Well, you'll have Jordan Brooks because KJ Wright is probably going to leave because we can't get a deal done with him. Now, we should re-sign Griffin. We either franchise tag our running back here, or franchise our cornerback here, or we franchise tag Carlos Dunlap. Or we just re-sign Carlos Dunlap. First let's see what he wants in a contract, right? And here, we're gonna go right here. Actually, right here, guys. Sorry about that. But, yeah, okay. So you got 14.5 million in cap space this year. Now, how can you save money? Well, you could try to get rid of Rashad Penny, and once you get rid of Rashad Penny, and maybe Rashad Penny is a bust. That's for sure. Don't even know. And Seahawks also another position I just remembered is tight end. Well, now they're not going to be able to probably re-sign Greg Olsen, right? What do you want to do now? Well, you have some good tight ends on your roster, but you've got Jacob Hollister on your roster. Well, I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe you get Njoku from the Browns for a somewhat of a draft. You throw in a draft pick and then you throw in maybe Hollister. And you gotta trade there, maybe? Maybe? Or are the Seahawks just not interested in Njoku? That all depends on the Seahawks. I don't know what the Seahawks are up to. That's for sure. But, anyways, 14.5 is our cap space this year. Let's take a look at next season's cap space. From what I am told so far and what I'm seeing, is our cap space will be around 180 million next year. So now you've got 180 million next year, and maybe the free agency class next year is better. And now, definitely, do the Seahawks not re-sign a running back, right? Do they go with Rashad Penny as their starter? Hopefully not. And it all has to depend on this. You've got 180 million next year. But how much do you have this year? 14.5 mil. Around that. You've got around this. Max, you'd have 15. But this is what I'm seeing as the Seahawks cap space this year. And this is what I've been told. So you've got 14.5. Now what do you do? Well, maybe there's a good rookie center in the draft, right? Or left guard or left tackle. So basically you're like, alright, let's get rid of, let's say left tackle here. Boom! We draft that guy, right? So now our need is no longer there. Now we bring that up. We just get rid of right tackle because we do that in free agency. We do this in free agency. And then this is either a draft pick or left tackle was, depending on what's good. Now you've got running back, defensive end, cornerback, and tight end. Well, you've got Hollister that seems to be pretty good, but maybe you want to go for Njoku, who was kind of unhappy with the Browns on how they used him this year, and he seems to be good. Maybe you trade Hollister and then a 6th round draft pick for that, or a 7th. Maybe a 5th max. I don't he's not like it. But you get what I'm saying. Plus, you have Colby Parkinson, I think, on your roster, who's also a tight end. And I mean, you've got some players at tight end. Too many. So, well, tight end is not really a need right now, unless you want to go into free agency and sign someone. But I honestly would love Njoku. So now you've got running back, defensive end, and cornerback. And these three positions, the three positions that I just moved together are definitely the Seahawks' biggest needs. Now, maybe it happens where you're like, well, Carlos Dunlap wants this much money, right? And we need help at the pass rush. So, let's franchise tag him. And then maybe you release some players that you don't need, right? I mean, I highly recommend they cut Trey Flowers, but that's just me. But now you're like, these are the three positions that no one knows what the Seahawks are going to do with, because these are all going to be like free agents. Carlos Dunlap, and then I mean, now the question is, are you going to need a safety? Free safety or a strong safety? I don't know. I think it's a strong safety because that's what Jamal Adams plays. Yes, he's not going to be a free agent, but he was not very good in coverage this year. He was more good at blitzing as like a defensive end / linebacker player. One of those blitzing linebackers. Maybe you change his position up? I mean, I have no idea. But maybe they keep it. Who knows? But this is my thoughts on all of this. Yet again, we only have 14.5 million cap space this year, so we're not going to be able to do very much. Next year, we're most likely going to be able to do a lot. And it all has to do with one thing. These three positions. What are the Seahawks going to do? We'll find out. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.